loyal viewers, retro gamers, and amazing cosplayers, and those that like pop culture related to retro gaming and cosplay. And I hope you folks have been enjoying my cosplay videos, my short videos, and my long videos. Mostly on the short videos for cosplay, although I did have Princess Peach hosted a little bit of Mortal Kombat play on 2 of my recent videos. So I hope you guys get a chance to look at those and comment on those. Alright folks, but this is a walk and rant video. It's going to be multi-topical, and as you know with a walk and rant, it's not about the video quality, folks, even though I am really decent on video, aren't I? Yes. Depending on the lighting, of course. It's your good friend here at Games, Wild Elf 26, folks. We're going to start off this walk and rant the way we usually do. So we're going to have to get in the right camera angle, of course. And here we go, folks. So get ready. All right. Now we're in the wonderful time period here, the August, July of 2026 time period. And so I hope you folks are having a good week, you know. And recently, in the big news, because we are primarily retro gaming and mostly gaming relevant itself, although I do stay away from modern gaming. Yes, I make a good point to generally stay away from modern gaming, basically because it has stopped being console or platform gaming a good long time ago. And some of you want a little clarification on that. Okay, well, I'll give you some clarification. A console game, platform game system, generally does not support internet or does not require internet. Now, I know there's an exception or two to this rule, but it reaches what I would like to call a gray or murky area regarding certain consoles. For example, the original Xbox. Well, the original Xbox was made by Microsoft, a computer making company. Made their bones, made their fortune on computers. So the fact that it could support internet and internet downloads and that sort of thing, when the PS2 would require some sort of Ethernet attachment or some HDD attachment, this was proof, you know, that Microsoft was coming at gaming from a different angle. They had a different approach and a different mindset on what they wanted out of our dear sacred console platform gaming. Now, as you know, when it comes to machines of that time, such as the Nintendo GameCube, you know, there was some type of internet option for the Nintendo GameCube, but it too was an add-on. Yes, friends, an add-on, or something that we like to call, from actual platform console gaming, a peripheral. Yes, folks, a peripheral. This means that the feature of internet is not standard and has to be accommodated by another device hooked into the device. Another either box or some contraption that fits the footprint of the machine somehow and clips into some connector or serial port. And therefore distinctly separates itself from a regular PC gaming device, you know. And there's also a blurry area because some of the PC gamers think because a game system runs on a computer program of some sort that this somehow automatically gives it a designation of being a PC. It is not. Heck, it's not even a Raspberry Pi. It's a completely different system, a different setup entirely. Your Super Nintendo platform game system. Your Sega Genesis, platform game system. Your Sega Saturn, platform game system. Your Nintendo 64, platform game system. Your 3DO, Panasonic 3DO, platform game system. Expensive one, but platform game system. Your Sony PlayStation, the first one, platform game system. Your Sony PlayStation 2, platform game system. Your Sega Dreamcast. Well, we kind of march into a weird area with Dreamcast. Dreamcast was Sony's general purpose idea that they wanted to make a new machine that people could enjoy their video gaming experience on, at the same time was less pricey, more cost effective, and generally a better idea in practice and execution. And for a lot of reasons, the Dreamcast got a lot of things in that nature right. However, because the Dreamcast used so much readily available material, a lot of what they considered off-the-shelf parts, and stuff that was possibly more common in the actual PC computing market rather than platform gaming, because there wasn't a whole lot of customization there as far as them making it theirs. And this came back later to bite the Dreamcast on the buns, because this allowed people that did have extensive knowledge of certain computers and whatnot to have an easier time when it came to trying to duplicate Sega Dreamcast. Sorry about that. Active traffic in the area. Very loud Japanese motorcycle here in Flagler, Florida. But yeah, the Dreamcast, because of the convenience factor of how they were to manufacture it, to what they were going for materials, what kind of specs they were going for. The idea behind it really was the easily renewableness of it when it came to repairs, replacements of parts, and because online multiplayer was kind of a burgeoning thing, a burgeoning concept, at least for platform gaming, which really did not embrace online gaming, because this was not the function of platform gaming. Platform gaming, the max amount of players usually topped off around 4, except in the case of the 3DO. The Panasonic 3DO only had one controller port in front of the machine. The controllers themselves had a next player controller port built into the controller. So you could have up to 6 controllers plugged together through that first controller connector. 6 players simultaneously could play some 3DO games. And I think the only one that comes to mind is a Madden football that was made for the Panasonic 3DO. I think it allows up to 6 players at once, which is quite an accomplishment coming out of one controller port only. The connecting of these controllers to each other is often referred to as daisy chaining, a daisy chain connection. And I argue that that was unique, and it was probably a dang good idea. But, you know, nowadays, today's gamers, for modern gaming, have gotten really ultra spoiled with Bluetooth game controllers, wireless connections. And the idea of 6 controllers being wired together into one console probably blows the minds of a lot of people even listening to this, let alone picturing it. But yeah, the Panasonic 3DO and its 3D graphics capability of that machine was very similar as kind of like the bare bones beginning of what we've come to know from the original PlayStation, which was released not too far after the 3DO, the first PlayStation. But at the time the Panasonic 3DO came out, it was a 32-bit machine capable of 3D graphics. The 3D graphics were primitive as all heck. Think of the Sega Saturn with only worse 3D graphics than the Sega Saturn. So, but the games were fun. Some people would claim that the 3DO has the worst version of Doom ever made. And I would say, well, it's definitely got a disabling frame rate. It's rather slow on its frame rate. But I would argue that it probably has the best music of any of the 93 Doom ever made, from all the home ports of the 93 Doom. And now there's altered versions, and for people using other ways of playing those types of games, there's newer patched versions of it. They're supposed to overcome 1, the window size, and 2, to up the frame rate to at least a slightly more reasonable level. But we will always give a hats off to Burger Becky for her efforts in making the 3DO Doom. She was understaffed and was given a very limited budget, a very limited window of time to develop the 3DO Doom. And she has, unfortunately, Burger Becky has passed. She's no longer with the rest of us amongst the living. And so we miss Burger Becky. And she's also proof that, you know, girls can be great game developers too. It's not just a boys only world that develops video games. But yeah, so we're getting down to the point here, and we're talking about these differences between true platform game consoles and these modern so-called platform game systems. Sony has finally addressed the elephant in the room. Sony has come across and, oh, pardon me a moment. Yeah, we're getting close to the end of this video, folks. But basically, Sony is acknowledging everybody's complaints and basically letting us know that it will not affect them in their current business model. They don't see how that's going to hurt their profits at all. Well, I'll tell you, my friends, if you were once a dedicated Sony player, Sony fan, and you've heard how they don't care about the fact that we care about physical media, if you're not dedicated to digital-only media and you want to stick it to them because they don't care, then please jump to another platform. Jump to Xbox if they support physical, or jump to PC gaming. Because if you're going to get PC gaming experience with ridiculous lack of caring, then why not just jump to PC gaming and avoid the middleman? Tell me your thoughts in the comment sections, folks. Here at Games Wild Elf 26, your friend Games Wild Elf. And once again, let me remind you, please enjoy some of my cosplay videos if you can find them in my stack of videos. Have a great one, and may the Triforce bless you all.